Other news, a recent dispute between the Hancock County Sheriff and a county commissioner is reviving a long-standing feud between the two men.
This time, Sheriff Scott Kane has taken to social media to voice the sheriff's office's grievances with Commissioner William Clark's opposition of the purchase of a new canine. News Center Maine's Drew Peters reached out to both men to learn more about the disagreement.
After the sale of one of its two police canines, Hancock County Sheriff Scott Kane was looking to use the funds to acquire a replacement.
Since 2023, we've had 72 calls for service for canines here at the Sheriff's Office, and we go to any community that asks for help.
While Kane feels the canines provide an invaluable service, Hancock County Commissioner William Clark, one of the officials in charge of the department's budget, had concerns about the purchase.
And I'm just unequivocally opposed to having these silent dogs.
In a recent meeting with the sheriff's office, Commissioner Clark denied the request for a new canine, citing high costs.
You're talking $40,000. This office's time, wages, and benefits that's going to be devoted to training.
In response, Sheriff Kane says canine handlers agreed to accept reduced compensation to maintain two canines, but were still met with opposition.
To have something as valuable as that and then lose it, to me, that's going backwards.
Commissioner Clark writing to News Center Maine, there is no dispute as to the value of a trained police dog, but that has to be weighed against the costs associated with a second dog. And this is far from the first dispute between the two men. In 2021, Commissioner Clark condemned Sheriff Kane's controversial decision to end a contract with a local nonprofit that was providing recovery services in the Hancock County Jail. And just this past November, Commissioner Clark voted against the hiring of two new positions at the Sheriff's Office.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to vote for any new deputies.
In a statement, Clark says disputes over the budget relate to the steady increase in spending he's seen during Kane's time as sheriff. Writing in part, their budget has increased over 50% in the last 5 years, with a 16% increase in the last year's and this year's budget alone. While the budget has risen, Sheriff Kane says he's constantly competing with increasing wages and feels the lack of support from Commissioner Clark only discourages future officers from coming to Hancock County.
I've heard them say it before. They'd like to come to work here, but they don't want to work with commissioners that don't support them.
In Ellsworth, Drew Peters, News Center, Maine.